we'll keep it rolling. We got a lot to
We
cover.
got a lot going.
Bare knuckle is stacked.
Top.
Boxing is stacked. MMA is stacked. Here we go with the MMA. I got a list here. We'll just go right down the list. Ilia Topuria versus Josh Emmett, two big-time featherweights.
Yeah.
Might get a title shot next. Depends how things play out. I mean, you still got Max Holloway ahead of you, so you're going to have to fight Max Holloway if you want that. I like Ilia's chances in this one. I think it's a favorable matchup for him.
100% agree with you on that, Tyler. Ilia Topuria, look, that guy, he's a fighter, right? Fighter's fighter, skilled in all areas, and just like has that grit, right?
The Georgians all have it.
Yeah, that's rough part of the world. It's like, you know what I mean? They got it, and he's a dog for sure. Josh Emmett, look, man, like I don't want to come off disrespectful because like the guy's done some incredible stuff. He hasn't lost many fights. He knocks a bunch of people out. Very powerful guy. He's got wrestling. Chooses not to use it all the time. But I think what's happening, right, especially in the case of like Josh Emmett, Volkanovski casts such a shadow on his entire division and smokes everybody that he almost makes new stars because it's just like, who's he going to fight next? So you start looking through the division for somebody for him to fight, right? And I think that's sort of how Josh Emmett like came into everybody's mind. It's just like another guy that we could potentially feed to Volkanovski, right? And I'm not saying he hasn't done great things, Josh Emmett. He has. But would we be in this position if Volkanovski hadn't already beaten everybody in the top 5? Probably not. No shade. I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but Topuria has been doing that work. He's making a splash. He's getting the first big time fight in his career. This is gonna like launch him into potential title fights, the top 5 guys. He's gonna start, if he wins this one, he'll start getting matched up with, all the top guys that we always talk about in featherweight. And I think you're right. I think this is a very winnable fight for Topuria. We'll see what Josh Emmett's head looks like coming off his recent loss. We'll see how he rebounds. You know what I mean? Because this is the first time a lot of spotlight is on Josh Emmett. Again, he's been around for a long time and people know who he is for sure. But now it's like, are you going to fight for the title or are you going to kind of drift back down into the top 10s and, be that like sort of gatekeeper guy?
Yeah. And he still has every chance in the world. I mean, he's got power in the right, and Ilia Topuria does get hit. We've seen him get hit. We've seen him get dropped.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm throwing Josh Emmett in the garbage can and saying he has 0% chance of winning. That's just not the case.
Not at all.
He absolutely has a chance of winning, and it could go either way. It's a fight at the end of the day. But I think just comparing skills and comparing what each has to offer, Ilia has more ways to win, and I would argue he's more skilled in pretty much anywhere the fight would go. Josh Emmett might have the edge in wrestling, but Ilia certainly has an edge in jiu-jitsu. His jiu-jitsu is world class. So I think
And Emmett
if we're talking ways to win...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Emmett fell in love with the knockout. He
Right.
Once he started touching people and they were going to sleep, that's all he wants to do now. He doesn't want to wrestle. He can. He's in a room full of decorated wrestlers every day he trains with. But he doesn't really use it as much. He fell in love with the knockout. To me, it feels like Topuria's on the incline, and we're going to see. And I'm not saying he's fallen off, Josh Emmett. I'm just saying we're going to see if he's going to level out or if he's peaked and he's on the decline. We're going to see.
Right.
He does.
He has Topuria has... And after what Topuria just did to Bryce Mitchell, Bryce Mitchell was the next big thing. He had all the hype and all the momentum. So for Topuria to go out and finish a guy like that, now Topuria has all that momentum and all that hype. So
I love
momentum's a powerful thing in this sport.
It is. I love me some Bryce Mitchell too. He just got matched up, didn't he?
He did, and I can't remember who he got matched up with, but he did get a fight announcement.
He did. And then maybe no, I don't. Doesn't matter.
No, it's not Barbosa. He already beat Barbosa.
He beat Barbosa. I feel like Barbosa might have gotten some talks too. Doesn't matter. I love me some Bryce Mitchell. He's a little wacky out there with some of his topics.
His dog.
But I also love some of it. Like half the stuff he says is like bad shit, and the other half the shit I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm with you on that. Straight up. Like, you know, like to me it's not black and white whether you're crazy or not. It's just like some of the stuff is crazy and then some of the stuff is spot on. So like I rock with Bryce Mitchell like 100%.
Absolutely. Featherweights are loaded. Like a lot of the divisions in the UFC right now are loaded, so it's pretty easy to say, but the featherweights are certainly loaded. This is a big-time featherweight fight. Sets up the future for maybe some new contenders for Volk or whoever's got that belt.
Yeah.
But excited to see who wins. We got a lot of things coming up there. Yeah. So good luck to all of them.
Getting like a nice shake-up, you know what I mean? Just to see who rises and who declines. I love it.
Right.